Have you ever realized there are secrets about growing old that you must not be foolish enough to share with your children? Many of us believe that as we age, we ought to disclose every single detail of our lives to our adult children in the name of closeness and honesty. We assume that putting all our cards on the table will draw our families closer and offer us a deeper sense of security. If you have been entirely open about every part of your aging journey, please know your intentions are wonderful and come from a deep love for your family. You simply want to build trust and make sure everyone is on the same page. However, psychologists and family counselors warn that oversharing certain parts of your life can actually harm your relationships and take away your personal power. In this video, we are going to explore 6 secrets about growing old that you should never be foolish music enough to tell your children. By understanding what to keep to yourself, you will protect your dignity and spare your family from unnecessary burdens. Stay tuned until the end because the final secret might completely transform the way you speak to your loved ones at your next family dinner. Once you recognize these boundaries, you will feel a deep sense of freedom. Now, let's begin. Number 1, your exact financial savings and total assets. One of the most critical secrets you must keep guarded is the precise dollar amount of your financial savings and total accumulated assets. Throughout our lives, we work incredibly hard to build a nest egg that will protect us in our later years. It is perfectly natural to want your children to know that you are financially stable and that they do not need to worry about your basic needs. However, revealing the complete music and exact picture of your wealth can unintentionally shift the dynamic of your relationship in ways you never meant. When adult children know exactly how much money you have, they may subconsciously start to factor your savings into their own financial planning. Consider Arthur, a 72-year-old retired teacher who proudly told his son exactly how much he had saved in his retirement accounts. Arthur just wanted to reassure his son, but a few months later, his son asked for a substantial loan to start a risky new business, assuming Arthur had plenty of money to spare. When Arthur declined to protect his own future, his son felt deeply hurt and betrayed. The relationship became strained all because Arthur shared too much information. You do not need to be secretive or deceptive about your overall well-being, but your specific financial ledger is your private business. By keeping the exact numbers to yourself, you prevent feelings of entitlement and shield your family from silent resentments. You ensure that your children continue to visit you out of pure love and affection, rather than any underlying financial expectations. This privacy gives you the ultimate freedom to use your hard-earned money exactly as you see fit without feeling judged or pressured. Your financial independence is a beautiful accomplishment, and guarding its details is a profound act of self-respect. Number 2, your deepest fears about aging and music mortality. The second profound secret you must carefully guard from your children is the full extent of your deepest fears about aging and mortality. As we navigate our 70s and 80s, it is incredibly common to experience quiet moments of existential anxiety. You might lie awake at night wondering how much time you have left music or feeling a deep sadness about the physical changes happening to your body. If you are carrying these heavy existential thoughts, please understand that they are a completely normal part of the human journey. You are processing the beautiful and sometimes overwhelming reality of a long music life. It is tempting to seek comfort by pouring these deep fears out to your adult children. You might think that sharing your vulnerability will bring you closer together and draw out their emotional support. However, placing the full weight of your mortality on your children's shoulders is an incredibly heavy and unfair burden. Your children love you deeply, and hearing you express profound fear about the end of your life will trigger intense anxiety and helplessness within them. They want to see you as the strong, capable parent who has always guided them through life. Think about Martha, a 75-year-old retired nurse who began expressing her daily fears about passing away to her daughter. Martha just wanted someone to listen to her worries, but her daughter became so overwhelmed with anxiety about losing her mother that she started suffering from panic attacks and insomnia. The daughter began to dread their phone calls because they always left her feeling emotionally drained and fearful for the future. Martha unintentionally transferred her own existential dread directly onto her child. Instead of finding comfort, Martha created a dynamic of shared misery. Music, it is absolutely essential to process these deep emotions, but you should seek music out the appropriate audience. Finding a professional counselor, a trusted spiritual advisor, or a close friend of your own age is a much healthier way to explore these fears. People in your own peer group understand exactly what you are going through and can offer genuine empathy without the complicated emotional baggage that exists between a parent and a child. By keeping your darkest existential fears away from your children, you are giving them the beautiful gift of emotional peace. You allow them to focus on enjoying the present moment with you rather than constantly bracing for a future loss. You preserve the joyful, light-hearted nature of your relationship and ensure that your time together is spent creating wonderful new memories. Your children deserve music to see you living your life with courage and grace, even if you privately struggle with the natural fears of aging. Managing these fears independently or with professional help is a profound act of parental love and incredible emotional maturity. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe music and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, your past resentments regarding how you raised them. The third deeply important secret that you should never reveal to your adult children involves your past resentments or profound regrets regarding how you raised them. Every single parent on earth has moments they wish they could do over. When you reflect on the busy years of raising your family, you might feel a lingering guilt about working too much, being too strict, or failing to provide certain opportunities. Conversely, you might harbor quiet resentments about how ungrateful they acted during their teenage years or the sacrifices you made that went entirely unnoticed. If you carry these complex emotions, please release any feelings of failure or anger right now. You did the absolute best you could with the tools and knowledge you had at the time. Parenting is an incredibly demanding journey, and no one navigates it with perfect grace. However, sitting your adult children down to confess music all your past parental regrets or to air decades old grievances is a disastrous idea. Sharing these thoughts does not rewrite history or magically heal old wounds. Instead, it only serves to reopen closed chapters and infuse your current relationship with unnecessary guilt and defensiveness. Consider Robert, an 80-year-old retired accountant who felt a deep sense of guilt for working long hours when his son was a young boy. Wanting to clear his conscience, Robert tearfully apologized to his son for being an absent father. Instead of bringing them closer, this confession completely destabilized his son. His son had always remembered his childhood fondly and viewed his father as a hardworking provider. Robert's sudden confession forced his son to question his own memories and planted a seed of resentment that had never existed before. Music, Robert sought personal absolution, but ended up fracturing a perfectly healthy dynamic. It is crucial to understand that your children have formulated their own narratives about their upbringing, and disrupting that peace to serve your own emotional needs is incredibly selfish. If you harbor anger about their past behavior, bringing it up now will only sound like bitter criticism. The past is a completed chapter, and you must leave it firmly closed. Your focus must remain entirely on cultivating the beautiful adult relationship you have with them today. Forgive yourself for your mistakes and forgive them for their youthful ignorance. By keeping your parenting regrets and old resentments completely secret, you protect the harmony of your family tree. You allow your children to interact with you as the wise, seasoned adult you are today, rather than forcing them to constantly reassure you about the past. True closure comes from making peace with your own history, music, privately, and moving forward with a heart full of unconditional love. You have earned the right to enjoy your family without the heavy shadow of yesterday hanging over your dining room table. Number 4, every minor physical ache and bodily vulnerability. The fourth critical secret you must keep to yourself is the detailed catalog of every minor physical ache and bodily vulnerability you experience. As we journey through our later decades, our bodies naturally music develop a chorus of creaks, stiffness, and unpredictable pains. You might wake up with a sore lower back, experience occasional digestive discomfort, or feel incredibly tired after a simple afternoon outing. If you are dealing with these daily physical annoyances, please know that your body is simply showing the beautiful wear and tear of a long active life. It is incredibly tempting to use your children as a sounding board for every single physical complaint. You might mention your aching knees during every phone call or constantly update them on your minor ailments, hoping to receive their sympathy and understanding. However, broadcasting every physical vulnerability fundamentally changes how your children perceive your independence. When you constantly complain about your health, your children begin to view you as fragile and incapable. This kicks their protective instincts into overdrive, leading them to micromanage your life and strip away your autonomy. Think about Susan, a 78-year-old former librarian who loved to tend her garden. Susan developed mild arthritis and began complaining about her stiff hands, wanting to vent her frustrations. Her daughter, however, became incredibly alarmed and convinced that Susan could no longer live alone safely. The daughter started dropping by unannounced to clean the house, insisted on hiring a daily caregiver, music, and pressured Susan to sell her beloved home and move into an assisted living facility. Susan's desire for a little sympathy resulted in a complete loss of her treasured independence. You must absolutely share major medical diagnosis and true emergencies with your family, but you must learn to filter out the daily noise of aging. Keep the minor complaints to yourself or discuss them with your medical provider and your friends of the same age who truly understand. When you speak to your children, focus the conversation on the positive aspects of your day. Talk about the books you are reading, the walks you are taking, and the joy you are finding in your hobbies. By projecting an image of quiet strength, music, and resilience, you force your children to respect your capability. You reassure them that you are handling your own aging process with tremendous grace and confidence. This boundary protects you from their well-meaning but suffocating interventions. You have the right to navigate your physical changes, privately music, without becoming a constant source of worry for your family. Cultivating this stoic approach guarantees that you remain the master of your own life and living arrangements for as long as possible. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Music number 5, your true unfiltered opinions about their spouses. The fifth secret that you must take to your grave is your true unfiltered opinions about their spouses or long-term partners. When you watch your children navigate their marriages, you bring a lifetime of seasoned wisdom to the table. Music, you might clearly see the flaws in their partners, silently judging a son-in-law for his career choices or feeling frustrated by a daughter-in-law who raises her children differently than you did. If you hold these critical opinions, please understand that your protective instincts are completely natural. You want the absolute best for your children, and it is hard to watch them settle for anything less than perfection. However, voicing your negative judgments about the person they have chosen to build a life with music is one of the most destructive mistakes you can possibly make. When you criticize music a spouse, you are directly attacking your child's judgment and threatening the core foundation of their immediate family. Adult children will almost always side with their spouses out of loyalty and necessity. Consider Richard, an 82-year-old retired businessman who never fully approved of his daughter's husband. Richard felt his son-in-law was lazy and lacked ambition. One evening over dinner, Richard decided to share his honest opinions, hoping to motivate the young man. Instead of taking the advice, his daughter was absolutely furious. She felt deeply insulted and immediately cut off all contact with Richard to protect her husband and her marriage. Richard lost his relationship with his daughter and his grandchildren simply because he could not keep his opinions to himself. It is vital to recognize that your children's marriages are their own private journeys filled with complexities, music, that you cannot fully understand from the outside. Unless there is genuine physical or emotional abuse occurring, you must keep your criticisms locked tightly away. Your role as an aging parent is to be a supportive, loving presence, not a constant source of friction. When you interact with their spouses, you must intentionally search for their good qualities and offer music genuine praise. Smile warmly at family gatherings, keep the conversation light, and be the gracious patriarch or matriarch your family needs. By biting your tongue and keeping your true opinions an absolute secret, you guarantee your place at the holiday table. You ensure that your home remains a peaceful, welcoming sanctuary for your entire family. The temporary satisfaction of speaking your mind is never worth the permanent heartbreak of being estranged from your own flesh and blood. Guarding your tongue is a magnificent display of emotional intelligence and profound family music devotion. You have the power to foster incredible harmony simply by choosing to embrace silence when it matters most. Number 6, your secret plans for a radically different lifestyle. The sixth deeply personal secret you must never prematurely reveal to your children is your private desire or secret plan for a radically different lifestyle in your final years. As we age, we often experience a profound shift in our priorities and dreams. You might secretly harbor a deep wish to sell the family home and travel the country in a motorhome, spend your savings on luxurious experiences, music, or move across the world to a quiet beach town. If you find yourself dreaming of a life that looks music completely different from the quiet, conservative retirement your family expects, please embrace those wonderful thoughts. Your golden years belong entirely to you. Music and you have earned the absolute right to chase your own joy. However, announcing these radical plans to your children before you are entirely ready to execute them is a recipe for immense family drama. Adult children often find great comfort in the predictability of their parents' lives. Music, they want to know you are safely tucked away in the family home where they can easily find you. When you share dreams that disrupt this comforting illusion, your children will likely react with fear, resistance, and intense criticism. They may accuse you of being irresponsible or try to actively talk you out of your beautiful plans. Music, think about Betty, a 74-year-old widow who secretly wanted to sell her large empty house and move to a vibrant art community in a different state. Excited by the idea, Betty shared her very early thoughts with her son. Her son immediately panicked about the logistics, the distance, and the potential loss of his childhood home. He spent months constantly badgering Betty with negative articles about the dangers of moving and completely drained her enthusiasm. Betty eventually abandoned her dream just to keep the peace and spent her remaining years feeling deeply unfulfilled. You must protect your dreams from the well-meaning but stifling opinions of your family. If you are planning a massive lifestyle change, you should research it quietly, consult with your own financial advisors, and make your decisions entirely independently. Only bring the topic music to your children when the plans are finalized and you are presenting them with a joyful, confident reality rather than a fragile idea seeking their approval. By keeping your radical dreams a secret during their incubation phase, you preserve your own excitement and autonomy. You prove to yourself that you are still the sole author of your life story. Your children will eventually adjust to the reality of your new adventure, but they do not need to be part of the messy planning process. Protecting your personal desires is the ultimate expression of freedom, ensuring that you truly live your best life exactly on your own terms. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe music and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Final thoughts. As we bring our incredibly important conversation to a gentle close today, I want you to take a slow, comforting breath and reflect on the 6 protective boundaries we have just explored together. We have discussed the critical importance of hiding your exact financial savings, the necessity of processing your existential fears away from your children, the wisdom of bearing your past, parenting resentments, the vital need to minimize complaints about minor physical aches, the absolute requirement to keep your true opinions about their spouses a secret, and the beauty of protecting your radical lifestyle dreams until they are ready to bloom. If you realize during this video that you have already shared some of these secrets with your family, music, I want you to immediately release any feelings of guilt or regret. Please do not view your past conversations as a failure or a mistake. You were simply acting out of a profound, beautiful desire to be close to the people you love the most in this world. Your heart has always been in exactly music, the right place. Your life is a miraculous, enduring journey, and it is completely natural to learn new ways of navigating family dynamics as you grow older. The most empowering truth you can take away from our time together is that establishing emotional and informational boundaries is not an act of deception or distance. It is actually the highest form of family preservation and deep self-respect. You are an active, powerful participant in your own aging process, equipped with an immense reservoir of seasoned wisdom. You have the complete ability to reshape how you communicate with your adult children starting today. By choosing to hold certain aspects of your life in quiet confidence, every single conversation becomes a glorious declaration of your own independence. You are intentionally choosing to invest in your own emotional comfort, your own dignity, and your own joyful autonomy. True closeness with your family is not about merging every single thought and fear. It is about ensuring that your interactions are filled with lightness, mutual respect, and absolute peace of mind. When you free yourself from the cultural myth that parents' music owe their adult children total transparency, you open up an expansive, beautiful space to truly thrive. You gain the energetic freedom to guide your family with quiet strength, to maintain an aura of capability, and to wake music up every single morning feeling genuinely confident in the privacy of your own remarkable life. Your future is not a predetermined path of losing control, and your current relationship with your children does not have to be a source of stress. By listening closely to your own need for privacy and responding music with these gentle, supportive boundaries, you are laying an unshakable foundation for a comfortable, fulfilling, and beautifully energetic family dynamic. Music, never forget that your journey is entirely your own, and you have every right to protect the sacred spaces of your mind and heart in every single music day. I highly encourage you to pick just one of these boundaries today and quietly implement it the next time you speak with your family. Trust that your magnificent spirit will respond to this gentle care with immense gratitude and renewed strength. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.